It's still the morning, right? Yeah. Good morning. My name is Bruno. I'm doing okay. You guys heard my life update so far. But I'm really happy to see each and every one of your faces, and know that we have the opportunity to know our minds together and practice the Buddha's teachings together. And despite my getup, I look very Tibetan. I'm no one special. I just really love the Dharma, and I put on the appearance just to feel like, protected, that I'm not going to say something outlandish or too wrong regarding the teachings if I'm in the guise of, of a teacher, even though I'm not. So take my words with a grain of salt, everybody. Even the Buddha said that about his own teachings. Don't just take my word for it. Really investigate my teachings, question them, and see if they work. Then you could respect me, Mario, hi. And today we'll be going over the 5 Dhyani Buddhas who are over here. Dhyani, I think, comes from... That is Sanskrit already, right? Yeah, I'm looking at Linda because she knows. And Dhyani is basically just meditative concentration or meditative equipoise, right? So the 5 Buddhas here represent aspects of our reality and our meditative awareness once we cultivate it, right? And so today we'll be going through what these Buddhas symbolize, and how we could conjure these symbols so that we could awaken these Buddha qualities within ourselves, because they're already a part of ourselves, these Buddha qualities. And whether or not we awaken them or feed them is up to us, right? And so just having the method itself, whether or not we practice, it's a big leg up, right? And so I'm honored to be able to share these things with you. And without further ado, we'll do the opening prayers on page 5. Prayer of Refuge and Bodhicitta, and 4 immeasurables. And we'll say them twice in English and once in Tibetan. I take refuge until I'm enlightened in the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the merit I create by practicing giving and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. I take refuge until I'm enlightened in the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the merit I create by practicing giving and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Sanje chedang sokchi jognan la jangchu maradu dagni japsuji dagi jinsok jipe sonamji drola panchir zanje robarasho. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that knows no suffering. May all sentient beings live in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that knows no suffering. May all sentient beings live in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Semche tamche dewadang dewe junang dembarajik. Semche tam je dugna dang dugna chi ju dang del war je jik sam jen tam je dugna me be de wa dang mi dre war je jik sam jen tam je nye ring chak dang ni dang re lue dang nyom la ne bar je jik. I've been contemplating a line from the White Tara practice that we do once a month, and it's in the very beginning of the practice, and it's one of the most profound lines. And every time I contemplate it, I realize how short I fall of it. And the line is, by renouncing harmful intent, the happiness of beings is inevitable. And it's crazy to think how much harmful intent I have. Even if I'm not aware of it, right? It's just a karmic habit to want to be petty, to want to have pride about something or be jealous about another thing. And so the Four Immeasurables really gives the motivation to renounce harmful intent, because all of us want to be happy in one way or another, or content in one way or another. All of us don't want to suffer in one way or another. We all want to not be separated from happiness when we have it, right? And equanimity is the goal of our practice, to really see all of our experiences, good, bad, or neutral, and everyone and everything we come across with the same love and compassion that we have for our parents or for cute puppies. Oh, we just met 2 cute puppies yesterday, and I was so in love with them. And I want to share that same type of love with all of you and everyone I come across, And so the Four Immeasurables are really fantastic. I'll continue to sing their praises. But let's get on with the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. And I'm going to be using a particular text as my framework to speak about the 5 Buddhas. And it's called the Prayer of Kuntu Zangpo. It's one of the quintessential so-called Dzogchen, or Great Perfection texts in the Tibetan tradition. And it kind of really outlines the difference between samsara, cyclic existence, suffering, and nirvana, wisdom and love, and how these 2 things are interrelated and how they're also different in quite a lot of detail. It's a good prayer for this reason. But I'll only go over the parts that are specific to the 5 Dhyani Buddhas and to a proper understanding of what they are. And then we'll get into the actual mantra and mudra practice. And so one of the first lines of the prayer goes, everything, appearance and existence, samsara and nirvana, has a single ground, yet 2 paths and 2 fruitions, and magically displays as awareness or unawareness. And so I think we're all familiar with our unawareness, of our mistakenness about the world, about how I see myself as different from you, and how that sort of misunderstanding can create a lot of issues, both internally and externally, right? But the good news is that that unawareness has the same ground as enlightenment, as really honoring the interconnected relationship that we've always had with each other. And so despite being on one side of the ground, so let's use the example of El Paso as samsara, even if we're in El Paso right now, we could always cross the bridge to Nirvana, Juarez. Juarez is quite nirvanic, because they're on the same ground, right? It doesn't matter if there's a big wall, a big border in between samsara and nirvana of El Paso and Juarez, right? We could still cross on a bridge to get to one side or the other. And so they're on the same ground. They may have different characteristics, they may have different manifestations, and yet they're part of the same holistic experience, right? And the ground itself is beyond expression, with neither the name samsara and nirvana. In realizing just this, you are Buddha. And so a lot of the issues that at least I have come wrapped up in a lot of thoughts, feelings, and emotions about things, right? And the ground is uncompounded, which kind of implies that it can't be built up or it can't be destroyed. Like our thoughts can be constructed and destroyed, right? You know, when I have if I'm feeling depressed, I have quite the grand narrative that I build up about myself. And that's not the ground, right? Which is uncompounded, which is just earth, to go back to the analogy, right? And so these sorts of conceptual constructions that we build sort of block out the sky of our mind. You know, it prevents us from being from being open and aware as we can be. You know, especially if we're depressed, we could understand this, right? It feels like a very closed state of mind. When we're angry, it's very narrow too, right? We're only focusing on our object of anger. When we're prideful, we're also being narrow, right? When we're being jealous, we zero in on our object of jealousy. The same thing when we're so attached or lustful towards something, right? So all these afflictive emotions really narrow down our scope of mind. And yet the ground of our mind is so expansive. It holds all of these narrow mindsets plus everything else, right? It's able to experience the entire world, and it's able to fathom things that are beyond the world, or, you know, as tiny as a atom, right? Our mind is so powerful. And that sort of inexpressible nature is already here, right? It's already a part of us. And so when we hear an expression like it has neither the name samsara or nirvana, or samsara and nirvana are interconnected, it gives us a lot of hope on one hand, and it could also be misleading on the other hand. Right? Because if we hear something like that, at least I could speak from my own experience. I've said this to myself. It's like, yeah, I could use my negative emotions for anything. They're intrinsically pure already. I'm already enlightened. What's the point of practice then? And that's missing the point, right? You know, without ethics, we can't really respect our interdependence. And so we end up causing harm. And if we have bodhicitta, which wants everybody to be enlightened and full of love, then how could we cause harm to someone else, right? purposefully or, impurposefully, right? And let's see. And so let me get to the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. They're the enlightened aspect of our experience. And so in the Dzogchen teachings, this sphere of our experience is seen as a mandala. Like the actual Tibetan term is korlo, right? Which is like a wheel, like a sphere, right, of experience. And these 5 guys, not to be confused with the burger joint, represent how our afflictive emotions or the physical elements of our body even can be purified to be wisdom and love, right? And so let's go through each of them in turn. So this guy is Akshobhya, the unshakable one, and he's in the eastern direction. And this is according to tantric theory or whatever. The east is always in front of us. So no matter where we're turning, we're always facing east. And the symbology that I've heard for that is that we're on the path to enlightenment, right? We want the sun of the Dharma to rise over our horizon, and we're going to chase that horizon, no matter what we're doing or where we're going. We're always going to strive to be better people, to be in peace, and to love everyone we come across. And so we're always going to chase the eastern horizon so that we could see the sunrise of liberation sooner. which is quite the nice symbol, right? And the mudra is the earth touching mudra. So it's the same as Shakyamuni Buddha. He's doing the same mudra. And so one hand, your left hand, is in your waist, and your right hand is touching the earth. And Akshobhya represents, on the outer level, the water element, which is, in terms of our body, all the liquid that we have, we're 70% water. Crazy. Never mind our blood and all the various liquids that are within our body. And the afflictive emotion that he represents is anger, which can be like very flood-like. Once we're angry, we kind of get swept away by the flood of that anger. Like, ooh, and I can't think of anything else other than what pissed me off. Easy example is getting cut off in traffic. And it's like, what an asshole, right? What a jerk. And then I'm gonna really get on that person's butt afterwards, and I could only see them on the road, And yet at the same time, anger is very clear. It's a clear emotion, right? If we're wronged, it's very obvious why we're angry, at least according to our deluded mind, right? And we could see the object of our anger very clearly, even if it's narrow. And the instruction provided in the Kuntu Zangpo prayer is, whenever you're angry or whichever other afflictive emotion that we feel, don't push it away as an enemy, nor bring it closer to you. So don't push it away or don't pull it closer. just let it be. And once you're able to see the transparency of the anger, it's very mirror-like, because whatever we're angry about is only a reflection of our own mind, right? If I'm mad about someone cutting me off, then that's a reflection of my own sort of priorities or my own sort of egocentric reality, right? And so the purification of anger is that mirror-like wisdom where all appearances are seen clearly for what they are, rather than for what we think they are. And the seed syllable for akshobhya is hong. Hong. Yeah, if you want to say it with me. Hong. Yeah. And so having the mudra and repeating the seed syllable, whether or not we want to work with the external element of water, whether it be like our blood or all the water that makes us up, or the internal emotion of anger, if we hold these and really try to, or not even try at all actually, because we need to do a bit less with our emotions in this context, it'll help us to see the mirror of our minds a bit clearer. And so that's akshobhya. And once we walk through all of them, we could do them in sequence. Yellow guy. Ratna Sambhava. The precious jewel being of the southern direction, which is to our right. On the outer level, he represents the earth element, the solidity of our bodies, the bones, our muscles, the solid aspect of our bodies. And the emotion he represents is pride. I have it all, we're winning, right? We could think of an easy example of a prideful being right now. Of elevating yourself at the expense of others. And once pride is pacified, we stop being so special. Like, of course, all of us have our different capacities and qualities. And yet, since we're all sentient beings, we're all prone to suffering. We're all impermanent, right? We're all going to end up in the same place, which is a grave. So what makes me so special on that level, right? So that's one side. And the other side is that we all have Buddha nature. We're all primordially enlightened already. So for me to say like, oh, I'm so great, I'm already enlightened, right? What about everyone else that has qualities that you don't have, that I don't have, right? And so once pride is pacified, the wisdom of equanimity comes forth. We're able to see each other as equals. That's not to say that we're deleting all of our differences, right? Because we all grow up in specific conditions and have had to deal with biases against us, or different socioeconomic conditions, right? But we're able to see everyone as an object of love and see everyone with the potential of enlightenment. And the mudra is the generosity mudra, which is very similar to the last one, but you just turn the palm outward. So whatever qualities that we do have, we offer it freely. And we offer a mind of equanimity to everyone that we're coming across. And then we realize how abundant the world is. Next, red guy, Amitabha, of the western direction, behind us, of the western direction, like the setting sun. So whenever you see a setting sun, you could think of Amitabha, especially here because the sunsets are so beautiful. And so on the outer level, he represents the fire element. So in terms of our bodies, that would be our metabolism, our digestive system as well. That requires a lot of heat going on in the stomach. The afflictive emotion would be attachment. Sometimes greed or lust, desire, whatever. But another way of understanding it, at least for me, is kind of depression, you know? Of feeling a lack of something, that I don't have this thing. Craving, yeah. Of craving something you don't have. And that's quite the self-centered thing too, you know? Where it's like, that kind of mindset of craving assumes that I should have the thing that I'm craving. You know? That I'm not okay without the thing, and so I'm going to be sad about it, you know? But if we sit with our attachment or our desire or craving without pulling it closer or pushing it away, then we could cultivate the wisdom of discernment. Sometimes it's called discriminative wisdom. But I like discernment better because it kind of allows us to identify the qualities of different things. You know? Where it's like that coffee cup, that coffee mug over there. I could appreciate like how beautiful the green color is without getting wrapped up in the impulse to want it, right? To make it mine, you know? I think that sense of ownership is implied with attachment as well, you know? I want you to be mine, if you're speaking to someone, right? I want that piece of cake to be mine, right? But with the wisdom of discernment, you know, you could understand that, you know, this water bottle is temporarily here for me. It's not mine as, you know, as something that is inherent to the water bottle. It is simply here for me. And then if it goes away, it's no longer here for me. So I could appreciate the qualities of the water bottle, of being able to hold a satisfying amount of water without being too attached to it. Easier said than done. Whenever I don't have my water bottle, I kind of freak out. It's kind of like a safety blanket. So I kind of have to work on that one. I think attachment is my biggest issue. That's my afflictive emotion. And the mudra is a mudra of a meditation. So just I think traditionally it's your right hand on top of your left. I tend to do the opposite. I don't know why. That just feels a bit better for me. So whatever feels better for you. I know in Zen that this has a pretty interesting meaning of like holding the entire universe in the palms of your hands, right? And the seed syllable is Hri. Hri. Hri, yeah. Hri.
Can you say those letters?
H-R-I-H. Hri, yeah. I also forgot this guy, huh? I forgot this one. For Ratna Sambhava. Which is this one, the yellow guy, is Tram. T-R-A-M. Tram. Tram. Hri is Amitabha, attachment. fire. Wisdom of discernment. Yellow guy. Amoga Siddhi. All accomplishing wisdom. So on the outer level, actually, let's start from there. It would be the wind element. So more of our breath, our breathing. Quite the important thing, right? And the afflictive emotion that Amoga Siddhi represents is jealousy. I don't have what you have. I want that skirt, Linda. I'm jealous I don't have it. I hope it tears. That kind of thing, right? Like we all know what jealousy is. And when jealousy is liberated, or if we don't push it away or bring it together, it's all accomplishing wisdom. That I have the power to control my potential. I'm not limited by what other people have. I could get shit done, for a lack of better words. Right? I could have confidence in my own abilities and rejoice in other people's qualities. I'm not going to be tethered by others' expectations. I could get it done, right? And the seed syllable is ah. Ah. Yeah. In the sutra literature, that's more associated with the perfection of wisdom or emptiness. And so you just kind of let it all go, right? And then lastly, the white Buddha is Vairochana of the central direction. And it's a wheel turning mudra. It's kind of interesting. So whenever the Buddha Shakyamuni is seen teaching the Dharma, he's seen in this mudra of turning the wheel. And on the outer level, Vairochana represents space. And so that would be the space that allows our body to move. So if we didn't have any space in between our organs or our bones, we'd kind of be in trouble, right? But because we have space, we can move around, we could breathe, all the other elements could exist, right? And on the inner level, the afflictive emotion that Vairochana represents it's called ignorance in English, but it's more like, I don't know, like obscuration or illusion or mistakenness about the way things are. You know, my teacher Lama Lina likes to say, we don't have original sin in Buddhism. We have original oops. we make a mistake. And that doesn't make us bad people, right? That's not a moral thing. But we make mistakes, and we've continued to make the mistake of not seeing ourselves as a network of causes and conditions, right? Of seeing how what we perceive isn't what we think it is, or how we feel it is, right? And it could also represent dullness of being, in a state of brain rot, I think is a good a good analogy for our times, of just looking at our phones, doom scrolling, that's very obscured, right? And so if we let the phone go for once, and we neither attach to our mistakenness or push it away, then we could realize the wisdom of the realm of phenomena, the Dharma Dhatu. Wordy. But it's that sphere of emptiness, And that's not to say that everything disappears, right? That nothing matters. No. Things still matter. But we're able to appreciate interdependence a lot more. We're able to appreciate karma, cause and effect, that our actions have consequences, and that we're able to affect other people and the environment around us, right? And that what makes me isn't what I think it is, which is one solid entity, right? But it's the education I received when I was growing up. It's my parents, it's my cultural background, it's the friends I've made, the food I've eaten, the media I've consumed. All of these different causes and conditions make me what I am. And so I can't point to any part of that and say, that is me, right? That is what I am. Because all of it is me. And all that is not me right now is also me, right? And so that sort of aspect of emptiness of our reality is what Vairochana represents. And the seed syllable is Om, which we're all familiar with, right? Om. Om. And so those are the 5 Buddhas and what they represent very briefly. And so what I'd like to do now is to go through the mudras and the seed syllables again. And so as we do this, we could hold the meaning in mind, right? Of the outer elements, how they relate to our bodies, the afflictive emotions, so like anger, pride, attachment, jealousy, or mistakenness, and the wisdoms that can arise when we do less, you know? That's a key, doing less. Okay. And so let's get into a comfy position, a so-called meditative posture. However that's manifesting for you is fine. As long as your back's straight and your shoulders are relaxed. And then if you can, you could bring your chest forward a little bit. That helps me at least to be a bit more straight and confident. And allow yourself to relax into an open state of awareness. And whatever's arising, whether it be physical sensations, emotional feelings, mental thoughts, whatever it may be, see them as clouds in the sky. All things are impermanent. Just like how clouds arise one moment, float around and in the next moment and disappear the moment after that. So does all the content in our mind. Like the pain in my left hip, or the thought of what I'm going to do after this meditation. All of those thoughts and feelings come and go. And as we're watching these clouds of our mind come and go, we could try to shift our focus. Kind of like trying to see what's between our fingers. We could see the space between and around the thoughts, the feelings and emotions that we have. And finding that open sky of the mind allows us to be at ease a bit more. We don't have to get wrapped up in our narratives or our emotions. We have the choice to let them float by. We have the option to not figure out anything right now, but just to rest in an awakeness and awareness. That doesn't exaggerate or depreciate. That isn't concerned about winning or losing, about being enough or not being enough. The space of your sky is complete as it is. It's perfect as it is. And within this space of the mind, open, aware, and bright with awareness, and this is where the five Buddhas can manifest. And where we can manifest as the five Buddhas. Because enlightenment is neither near nor far. It's right under our noses and in the palms of our hands. And if enlightenment is in the palms of our hands, we could use our hands to manifest enlightenment in this very body, in this very moment. And so let us manifest our enlightened qualities and confront our karmic habits by using the mudras and seed syllables of the 5 Buddhas. And we'll start off with Akshobhya in the earth-touching mudra. Move to the generosity mudra with Next, equanimity mudra of Amitabha. Three jewel mudra of Amoga Siddhi, wind, jealousy. Wheel turning mudra, varochana, two of the same together. Space, ignorance. Back to earth touching, Akshobhya, water element, anger, mirror like wisdom. Om. generosity, Ratna Sambhava, earth element, pride, equanimity. Equanimity mudra, amitabha, fire, attachment, wisdom of discernment. Three jewels, Amoghasiddhi, wind, jealousy, wisdom of all accomplishing. Wheel turning mudra, space, Vairochana, ignorance, wisdom of the Dharma Dhatu, interdependence. Om. to the earth, touching mudra. Generosity. Equanimity, or meditative mudra. Three-jewel mudra. Wheel turning mudra. Once more. One more time. Home. or not. That's okay. That's okay. So that's meditation of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas with the seed syllables and mudras. So holding the meaning of what the 5 Buddhas represent is really powerful, you know, because they are us, you know. As you guys were doing the mudras, I was like, wow, there's so many Buddhas in this room. It's amazing. So hopefully this method is useful, and you could pull it out wherever, you know. When you're sitting in the car, just do Hong Dram Hri A Om, and there you go. It could be just a mindfulness practice in that regard. And so I think all of our legs hurt, so we could finish here. On page 60, we'll do the bodhicitta prayer, dedication of merit, and the last little world peace prayer at the end. And so we'll say the bodhicitta, dedication of merit, once in English and once in Tibetan. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow. And may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. Jang chub sam chog rinpoche, ma che panam je juruchi, je ba nyam ba me ba yang, gong ne gong du ber wara sho. Through this virtuous action, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead every being without exception into that pure world. Gewa di nirdudak lama sanje rujurune drowa chijang malupa deyi salagobarasho. At this very moment, for the peoples and nations of the earth, may not even the names disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard, but rather may pure conduct, merit, wealth, and prosperity increase, and may supreme good fortune and well-being always arise. Om. Thank you guys for being here, and I just want to give thanks to my teachers, which I did a bad job of parroting today, of Garchen Rinpoche, whose image is over there. He offered teachings a few years ago on the Kuntu Zangpo prayer that I spoke about earlier today. So if you want like an actual explanation of what that text is about, then I would go to his YouTube channel and check out that teaching. And the 5 mudras was taught to this Sangha by one of his disciples, Lama Dorje. Really cool guy, honorary Latino. He's Tibetan, but he lived in Chile and speaks very fluent Spanish, and he's a really cool guy. So I wanted to thank those 2 teachers in particular for offering their teachings to us. And also, sorry if anything I said was harmful or incorrect. But I'm happy that all of you are here, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. And as always, we depend on donation, on dana, the first generosity, the first perfection, generosity, to keep the AC on nice and cool. So if you're able to donate some moolah, that's great. But if not, your time here is a generous act in itself. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, stop it.
It actually stopped.
No, really? Why?
Because I stopped looking at it. And
Oh.
it went dark.
Okay, well, good job, cameraman.
What can you do?
Yeah. All right. So next
I
time.
went to sleep. Yeah, I went to
Stop
sleep.
before what?
It stopped before the practice.
Before the practice?
Yeah, I mean, unless your phone is still going, but I feel like it's connected.
Yeah, I know. It's cooked.
Oh, most of the